Alright, what's going on everybody? Today, this is going to be the start of part 4 of the single turbo build. We're going to take the intake manifold off, paint it, then we're going to clean the engine bay of the IS300 while the paint is drying. I set the stock turbo manifold back on it just to keep, like dirt daubers and shit like that from flying into the manifold and building a nest, or into the exhaust ports and building a nest. But anyways, this is essentially what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be taking this off, trying our best to clean it up and paint it. Got a ton of shit to take off. We got these sensors and stuff to take off, hoses to take off, bolts here, 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 and here to take off. Got to take the transmission dipstick and the oil dipstick off as well. Ground from the harness, take that off. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff to take off, but hopefully going to get this thing off, get it sanded, get it painted. I plan to do it the same color that I did the valve covers, the wrinkle black. So anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start taking this off, guys, and I will show you and update you guys when I get it off. So yeah, stay tuned. Alright guys, so I got the intake off and some not good looking news. Not entirely sure what this could be, but in two of the runners, as you can see, there is straight up oil in there. So that's not very good. Like, I know you get oil blow by on turbo cars, but like that much liquid oil just like right there. And then my gasket also has some oil residue on it as well. Yeah, it's not very good signs. That could be a number of things, but the way I'm going to take it is that I probably had a bad seal somewhere on those turbos, because I don't think you should be getting that much blow by on a factory turbo setup. So anyway, that stuff aside, I'm going to read about that later, see what I can come up with, but all that stuff aside, I got the intake manifold off. It didn't take very long, maybe 10 minutes. I'm not going to take the lower runners off because, for one, it's a pain in the ass to, as you can see, it's a pain in the ass to unbolt all that, and plus you can't even see those when the intake is on. So I'm just going to paint the upper intake manifold. So I'm going to go ahead and start unbolting sensors and such, and taking that stuff off and taping off this intake. I'm going to go ahead and start doing that, guys. Alright everybody, so we have the intake manifold scuffed up a little bit with some 120 grit. I took an old softball pitching practice thing that we had here from when my sister used to play years ago. I kind of cut it up a little bit, and I'm using it to act as my stand. I couldn't just set it on a block like I did the valve covers, because I need to get good, spray all the way around it. So anyways, got this set up right here. Gonna set the GoPro down on the ground, and then we are gonna get to spraying. What's going on everybody? It is a terribly gloomy and rainy day, but this is the second day of part 4. We're back. Get everything wrapped up over here. We're going to take this tarp off, and we're going to set the manifold back onto the motor. Not going to bolt it in today, probably. Just going to set it back on, and probably not going to do much else today either because of this rain. So what we're going to do today, we're going to take the manifold, take all the tape off, set it back on the motor. We're not going to bolt it in. Just set it on the studs, and then we'll bolt it in tomorrow probably. And tomorrow we're going to clean the engine bay of the car. And I got a couple things I need to do to the engine bay, and I'll go over that with you guys tomorrow. But anyways, let me go ahead and get this thing untaped and unmasked, and I'll show you what it looks like today. Okay, so we got all the tape off except for along where it bolts. And this is what it looks like for now. It could still use some heat, so we're going to go ahead and hit it with the heat gun a little bit. But you can see the wrinkle texture on it is pretty nice. A lot better than the ugly cast iron color. I really like the way it came out. I think it's going to look great on the motor with the valve covers. And should look a whole lot better than it did stock. Alright everybody, so took the heat gun to it. Heated it up a good bit. Let it, you know, bake and do its thing. And then I reinstalled all the things we took off of it. And you can definitely tell a difference in the amount of stuff that's on it and whenever it's off. It's so much cleaner of a look without all this junk. But anyway, got everything hooked back up, bolted back in. I think everything looks fine. The only thing I'm worried about is if I just put this back in the right way. You can hear it flipping the valve, so I think I did. But anyways, gonna go ahead and set this on the motor. And I'll probably bolt in the two little stud mounts, but leave the rest of the bolts out. And just go ahead and let that paint finish curing up. They recommend 48 hours after the paint before reinstallation, and so tomorrow will be 48 hours. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set that on the motor so that way it's not just hanging there. And anyways, I'll show you guys what it looks like when we get it back on the motor. Alright everybody, here it is on the motor. I can already go ahead and tell you guys my opinion. I think it looks a shit ton better than it did. The black just makes it look so much sweeter. I think it came out great. So anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. We'll update you guys tomorrow when we get back out here, bolt that thing down, clean up the engine bay, talk about some more stuff. Let me know what you guys think about the intake manifold in the comments. Let me know what you guys think, how it looks, and whatever. So anyway guys, stick around for tomorrow. Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the vlog, and here we go. So, got everything set on the motor. I think it came out great. I put the bolts back in, now we just got to tighten it down. I wanted to make sure that I let it sit for a good amount of time before I did that, because I didn't want to, you know, like rub the paint off or anything like that, because they recommend 48 hours until reinstallation. So anyways, we're going to do that, and then we are going to probably try to clean up the engine bay. It needs to be wiped down, some things need to be situated around a little bit, and yeah, so we're going to go ahead and do that stuff. Let's see, what else needs to be done before it can go in the car. Oil filter relocation needs to be put on, and then the turbo manifold needs to be put on, and then we are going to put it back in the car. Hope to do that this weekend. It is Thursday today. I hope to get the motor set back in the car by the end of the weekend, and then sometime next week we can take it to Scotty's, get the intercooler piping done, and hopefully crank the car and drive it. So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and get back to this and tighten the intake manifold back down. So stick around guys. Alright everybody, so we got the intake manifold bolted in, got the dipsticks and stuff bolted back in, fuel pressure regulator bracket mounted up, gonna plug the sensors back in and go from there. So it looks like I'm gonna get rained on or not physically, but starting to rain, and it's really humid out here. So I think this is what we're gonna call it today for part 4 or 3 or whatever part this is of the build. We'll just clean the engine bay. Well, okay, that reminds me, a couple things to do. Next part of the video, or next build part, is going to be cleaning the engine bay, removing the oil lines, putting the single turbo oil lines, the single turbo manifold on, and I need to my fuel pressure regulator, it's leaking because I didn't put any Teflon tape on any of the fittings. So we're going to take that apart, clean it, and redo it with some Teflon tape, make sure it's all good and not leaking. And yeah, so that should be the last things we need to do. Mainly, oh, and the oil filter relocation, got to do that too. The oil filter relocation and the turbo oil lines are the main things why this motor can't go back in yet, because those are things going to be a lot more difficult when it's in the engine bay. So we're going to do that mainly in the next part of this build, and then after that we'll be able to take the turbo or the motor and everything like that in car to the fabricators and get all that stuff built, and then the car should be ready for the road, and then we can see how she does. So anyway guys, hope you guys liked the video. If you're just now stopping into the channel, subscribe for more videos. Got plenty of stuff going on with this car. Give the video a like, a thumbs up, it really helps guys. Share the videos, and other than that guys, have a nice day. Stick around for the next video. See you guys later.